There's a voice inside your head, and you've mistaken it for your own. It delays you with logic. It distracts you with fear. It tells you to wait, to rest, to think. And you listen. That voice is not your friend. It's the first enemy you ever knew. The quiet one that convinces you to abandon yourself daily while sounding like it's trying to help. It whispers that you're not ready, that failure is final, that comfort is safer than progress. Every time you obey it, your future gets smaller. Your confidence bleeds and your ambition starves. The worst part? You defend that voice as if it's your wisdom. But Machiavelli would tell you the truth. It's sabotage, internal, treasonous, silent. This enemy isn't out there in the world. It's inside. And if you don't hunt it, it will own you. In this video, you'll learn 10 fast, surgical ways to kill self-sabotage before it kills your potential. You'll learn how to spot it in real time, cut it at the root, rebuild your identity, and command your mind like a ruler, not a servant. You'll stop asking for permission. You'll start taking power back. This isn't about healing, it's about execution. You're not here to feel better. You're here to eliminate the parts of you that keep you weak. 10 patterns, 10 cold removals. 1. Rebirth. The version of you that cannot be stopped. Let's begin. Number 1. Catch the pattern in real time. Self-sabotage doesn't show up dressed as destruction. It arrives dressed like reason. It tells you to think things through, to wait for the right time, to avoid mistakes. And in that space between action and hesitation, it builds its home. If you don't catch it in real time, you become a servant to your own delay, a prisoner inside a mental loop that never ends. Most people don't fail because they lack ambition. They fail because they keep letting sabotage sit at the table during critical decisions. You've done it. You've talked yourself out of opportunities, momentum, progress, all while thinking you were being smart. And that's the enemy's genius. It never screams. It speaks calmly, logically, like a strategist in your ear. That's why you must become more vigilant with your thoughts than your surroundings. Machiavelli would never leave a court unchecked. He'd place spies, listen for betrayal, and move first. That's what you must do with your mind. Monitor it with ruthless awareness. The moment you feel resistance, delay, or overthinking, don't argue with it. Don't try to reason. Identify it. Then act anyway. Movement is your weapon. Action cuts off sabotage before it finishes a full sentence. When you catch the pattern the moment it starts, you interrupt the loop. You break the default. You regain control. Most people only realize they sabotaged something after it's gone, but not you, not anymore. You're not here to reflect later. You're here to dominate in real time. This is how power begins, not with control over others, but control over your own mental battlefield. Watch every thought like it's a potential assassin, because it is. Number 2, challenge the inner critic. The inner critic is not your conscience. It's not wisdom. It's not humility. It's a parasite, trained by fear, fed by failure, and disguised as self-awareness. It watches you closely. It waits for ambition to rise, then poisons it with doubt. And if you let that voice go unchallenged, you don't just lose opportunities, you lose identity. You stop trusting yourself. You become a slave to hesitation. That voice tells you you're not enough, not capable, not ready. It exaggerates your flaws and minimizes your strengths until you feel like a fraud. And the most dangerous part? You start thinking it's truth. But Machiavelli would never let a voice question his authority without punishment. So why do you let it live in your mind rent-free, mocking your every move? It's not feedback, it's sabotage in disguise. You must treat the inner critic like a hostile witness. Interrogate it. Where did it come from? Whose voice is it really? Is it your own, or someone from your past now speaking through you? Challenge every thought, every insult, every internal judgment. Make it prove its case. If it can't, discard it like a traitor in the court of power. When that voice rises, don't shrink. Speak over it, replace it, drown it in evidence of what you've survived, what you've built, and what you're becoming. Ruthlessly, with precision. You don't argue with saboteurs, you silence them. The critic doesn't deserve conversation, it deserves elimination. You are not here to beg your mind for peace. You're here to take control of it permanently. You don't need reassurance, you need dominance over every thought that dares to question your worth. Number 3, write your anti-sabotage identity. You've been living under an identity you didn't choose. One built from fear, mistakes, doubt, and repetition. You've labeled yourself based on what you failed at, what people said, what your past looked like. That version of you, the hesitant, apologetic, overthinking version, was never designed for power. It was built for survival. But survival is not the goal anymore. Domination is. Machiavelli said a prince must reshape himself as the situation demands. That means identity isn't fixed, it's forged. And if you don't forge it yourself, the world, your trauma, and your weakness will do it for you. You must become the architect of a new internal empire, one where self-sabotage has no rank, no voice, and no power. This begins with writing the new role you will play in your own mind. Who are you when sabotage dies, when hesitation is no longer welcome, when fear doesn't speak? Write it down, define it with precision. How do you act? How do you move? What do you no longer tolerate, even from yourself? This is not affirmation, it's a contract. You're not hoping to become it, you're declaring it, and burning every version that came before. Once you name this identity, you build laws around it, laws of behavior, laws of thought, laws of execution. If an action doesn't serve the ruler you've written, you kill it. If a thought weakens that identity, you silence it. Identity is not emotional, it's strategic. From this point forward, sabotage won't feel familiar anymore. It will feel foreign, because your new self doesn't speak that language. And that's the point. You're not editing the past, you're rewriting the future from the mind out. Number 4, reframe fear as excitement. Fear is not weakness, but your response to it can be. Most people run from it, avoid it, hide under soft labels like anxiety or stress. But fear is not the enemy, it's energy, it's data, it's power. You've just never been taught how to read it. And if you don't reframe it now, you'll keep mistaking your potential for danger and backing away every time life demands you level up. Machiavelli believed fear could be weaponized, not avoided. To rule, you must understand it, control it, and even use it to influence others. But first you must learn to use it within yourself. That rush you feel in your chest before you speak, that shake in your hands before you act, that's not a warning, it's ignition. That's not danger, that's raw internal voltage asking to be converted into action. The same signal that freezes you can be the signal that fuels you. It all depends on how you interpret it. You're not under threat, you're under pressure. And pressure is where warriors are made. Don't say, I'm scared. Say, I'm charged. Don't say, I'm nervous. Say, I'm alert. This isn't lying to yourself, it's training your mind to obey the mission, not the emotion. You don't eliminate fear, you convert it, you flip its meaning, you redefine the signal. That's power. Cowards feel fear and retreat. Leaders feel fear and move faster. You were never meant to be fearless, you were meant to be dangerous in spite of fear. And once fear becomes fuel, sabotage loses its grip because hesitation no longer feels like safety. Number 5, micro-step everything. Most people don't fail because the goal is too big. They fail because they never made it small enough to attack. They romanticize the mountain, fantasize about the summit, but never take the first brutal step. That's where sabotage thrives. In overwhelm, in analysis, in grand visions with no motion. The antidote is simple and merciless. Reduce the war to 1 inch of battlefield at a time and dominate it. You don't build an empire in a day, you build it in silence. By laying one stone, then the next, with ruthless consistency. Micro steps are not weakness, they are control. They break the pattern of delay, They bypass your mind's panic system. They make momentum inescapable. Machiavelli understood this well. Conquest is achieved through precision, not passion, through tactical advancement, not emotional hype. The moment your brain says it's too much, you cut the task in half, then you execute. When it still feels heavy, you cut it again. You move forward, no matter how small the stride, because the movement itself is the rebellion. Every micro-action is a defiance of sabotage. Every completion is a declaration of authority over the part of you that wants to stall. Don't set goals to impress yourself. Set steps that destroy excuses. The smaller the action, the harder it is for sabotage to stop it. And once you start moving, you've already won. Because self-sabotage can't survive momentum, it can only feed on stillness. So don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for motivation. Take the smallest, sharpest step possible and make it lethal. Number 6. Sit with discomfort, don't escape it. Your mind is trained to run. The moment discomfort shows up, it tells you to scroll, snack, numb, escape, anything but stay. And that's how sabotage wins. Not by overpowering you, but by whispering the easiest way out. You weren't raised to endure pressure. You were raised to seek relief. But growth doesn't live in relief. It lives in resistance. And only those who sit in the heat gain control over the fire. Machiavelli understood that power comes from withstanding what others avoid. Where most men bend, rulers endure. So if discomfort is a furnace, you must step into it. Not recklessly, not emotionally, strategically. Let it sharpen you, let it strip away the false layers. Sit with the urge to run and don't move, because if you can hold your position, you've already beaten the part of you that breaks too easily. Every time you sit with discomfort without escaping, you're rewiring your nervous system to stop fearing tension. You're teaching your brain that pain doesn't mean panic, it means power. And the longer you stay with it, the more your tolerance grows. That's how internal strength is built, not with affirmations, but with exposure. Discomfort is not the problem, your relationship with it is. You've been told to avoid it, but Machiavellian control demands you master it. You don't escape the battlefield, you learn to breathe in the smoke. You don't leave the pressure, you become pressure itself. And when you no longer fear discomfort, sabotage loses one of its strongest weapons, your need to feel okay all the time. Number 7. Stop future tripping. The future is where sabotage hides its sharpest weapons, not in the present, but in projection. Your mind invents problems that haven't happened, consequences that don't exist, and scenarios that paralyze you before you've even begun. That's not preparation, that's paralysis. You're not planning, you're fantasizing about catastrophe. And every time you future trip, you trade your power for a problem that isn't even real yet. Machiavelli understood the danger of uncertain outcomes. That's why he moved based on leverage, not emotion. He didn't wait to feel certain, he acted when it gave him an advantage. You, on the other hand, wait for clarity that never arrives. You rehearse failure, you imagine judgment, you envision worst-case scenarios in 4K resolution, then wonder why your body locks up when it's time to move. That isn't intelligence, that's self-sabotage in disguise. The future doesn't belong to you until you act in the present. So stop forecasting doom. Stop playing out 10 outcomes for one simple decision. Move based on what you control, right now. Kill the imaginary timelines. Cut off the what-ifs. The only thing that exists is this moment, this opportunity, this decision. And if you don't act on it, your future will rot. Not because of reality, but because of delay. You were not built to live in your head. You were built to build in real time. The ruler doesn't sit and wonder what might go wrong, he forces what must go right. So when your mind starts time traveling, yank it back. The war is not tomorrow, it's right now. And if you keep imagining disasters, don't be surprised when they become prophecy. Number 8. Keep one promise to yourself daily. Self-trust isn't built through hype or motivation, it's built through discipline. Not massive wins, not grand gestures, just one small promise kept every day without fail. That's how you rebuild your internal credibility. not with declarations, but with consistency. Sabotage thrives when you no longer believe yourself, and belief only returns when your actions start proving your words were real. Most people lie to themselves constantly. I'll wake up early, I'll start tomorrow, this is the last time. But each broken promise isn't just a failure, it's a message to your subconscious. Don't trust me. And over time, you stop listening to your own voice because deep down, you know it's all bark, no bite. Machiavelli said a ruler must appear trustworthy, even if he isn't. But when it comes to ruling your own mind, appearances aren't enough. You must become trustworthy to yourself. Start with one command, one action, daily. Wake up when you said you would. Finish the task you committed to. Speak only what you'll follow through on. Nothing more, nothing less. Because once you become someone you can't betray, self-sabotage loses its grip. It has nowhere to attach. You don't need to master everything overnight. Just win one internal battle a day. That's it. And when that victory becomes habit, you've created something rare, an internal code of honor, one that can't be bribed, broken, or bought. You'll move differently. Speak less, execute more. And the voice in your head will stop arguing, because it will finally know who's in charge. Number 9, break the all or nothing. Perfection is a lie. It's the most seductive form of sabotage because it wears the mask of ambition. You tell yourself, if I can't do it all, I won't do it at all. That sounds noble, but it's poison. That's not discipline, it's ego. It's weakness pretending to be high standards, and it keeps you stuck in a loop of extremes, full throttle or full collapse, nothing in between. Machiavelli wouldn't wait for ideal conditions. He'd strike with whatever weapon was available. Power doesn't care about perfection. It only responds to movement, leverage, and persistence. And if you keep holding back because the circumstances aren't perfect, you're already defeated. All or nothing isn't strategy. It's self-destruction dressed as pride. You're stalling, not preparing, and the longer you stall, the more you normalize inaction. Instead, you must rewire how you see progress. It's not about grand moments. It's about stacking imperfect actions with ruthless consistency. You eat clean, then slip? Don't spiral. Reset. You miss a day? Don't burn the calendar. Resume. You start late? Start anyway. That's how machines are built, not with momentum alone, but with correction, with cold, emotionless recovery. That's power. You don't win by being flawless. You win by being relentless. You don't need the perfect routine, the perfect conditions, or the perfect mood. You need control over your emotions, command over your excuses, and the ability to act even when it's messy. All or nothing is dead. From now on, it's always something. Because if you're always building, sabotage has nothing to destroy. Final words, and number 10, kill the pattern, become the weapon. You've seen the patterns. You've felt the traps. You've heard the voice that holds you back, doubts you, delays you, and tries to reason you into a small life. And now you've exposed it, clearly, surgically, and without mercy. These weren't just habits, they were psychological chains. And if you don't cut them deliberately, they will stay wrapped around your future until it suffocates in silence. Machiavelli said that the injuries you inflict must be swift, decisive, and final. That's how you must treat sabotage, not with conversation, not with kindness, but with execution. These 10 tactics aren't tips, they are weapons. If you carry them out daily, without apology, without explanation, the old version of you, the one who hesitated, flinched, overthought, will not survive. And that's exactly the point. You are not here to manage your weaknesses. You are here to outgrow them. You are not here to be liked by the parts of you that fear power. You are here to terrify them. Every time you catch the pattern and cut it, you prove that control lives in you now, not later, not after healing, now, in your breath, in your habits, in your thoughts, and soon, in your results. This is how rulers are made, not with comfort, not with motivation, but with control over the invisible, over the battlefield no one sees but everyone obeys, the mind. You've just sharpened the blade, now use it, and let the world adjust.